Hey guys, it's Abby, and today I'm going to be doing the Air Fire book talk finally. Because in case you guys didn't remember, I did Throne of Glass book talk, and I didn't do Throne of Glass book talk, and I read Crown of Midnight, and I basically couldn't say a bunch of stuff and do a bunch of stuff for that video because I already read the next book. And in case you guys want to check it out, here is the Throne of Glass book talk I did and the Crown of Midnight book talk I did. So finally, I get to read Queen of Shadows. I have all of the books: Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Air Fire, Queen of Shadows. Have to read it. And before I continue on with the video, I was going back and I said in a couple videos in my September TBR, I said that I did a book talk on this, and I remember doing a book talk on this, but apparently I didn't ever upload it, so I'm going to be doing another book talk on this because I did do one, I'm sure of it, I just never uploaded it, and I'm pretty sure I got rid of the footage, so I'm just going to redo it. So I have all three in the series because I'm reading Champion, and I like to have all the series with the book talks in case you guys didn't know. So like, if I read a second book of the series that I didn't do a book talk for the first book, I will most likely go back and do the book talk like I will be doing with Court of Thorns and Roses, because I have one for Court of Mist and Fury, and if not, then I won't do the rest of the series. So anyway, let's get started with Air Fire book talk. That was a very long intro, I am sorry. I should probably get the book out. Let's do this without knocking over the G, please. It's gonna be knocked over anyway. Oh my god. They look so tiny now. Bam! So I'm gonna try and do a non-spoiler section for this because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, just because I don't really have any non-spoilers. So for the non-spoiler section of this, if I can come up with it, is basically, in case you did, and this is after, I'm assuming you guys have read Crown of Midnight. So, Crown of Midnight, she is being headed off to, what was the land called again? I don't remember the land. What was this land? Do I have it in my notes? Let me just currently check. She's heading from Ottoline to, where is it? Do I not have it? Oh my god. What? What is this land? What is this land? I'm cold. Is it Terracin? No, she's not heading off to Terracin. What? I don't know. Anyway, she's heading off to said land, and basically where the Fae and magic are, and I'm assuming you guys have read Crown of Midnight. Basically, we know she is Fae, she has powers, which we all pretty much assumed in Throne of Glass, and Sarah J. Maas confirmed it in Crown of Midnight, and there's a lot of lovely magic in this book. That's all I'm going to say for the non-spoiler section, because I didn't come up with the non-spoiler section. So if you have not read this book, go read this book, and then come back to this, so then we can review it together. And that is it for the non-spoiler. Now let's get on with... if you guys have watched my Court of Mist and Fury review, the same is going to happen with this book. I'm not going to be really doing this in this review in any specific order, so just deal with it. So at the end of the second book, Crown of Midnight, should I just be like grabbing these books? We do find out, like I said in the beginning, that Selena does have powers, which again we pretty much assumed in Throne of Glass, and throughout Crown of Midnight we kind of got the gist that Selena definitely had powers. She was definitely Fae, and she is awesome. We also are confirmed with the fact that she is the rightful heir of Ottoline, Terracin, which one is it? I'm pretty sure it's rightful throne of Terracin. My notes right there. Just in case you were wondering. We also go through this traumatic thing that we find out that the king of Terracin had her family killed. Well, Elena, not Elena, why am I saying Elena? Well, Selena, aka Aelin, was in the house and actually survived. reading this, again, I actually listened to the audiobook, but I got the book with me. Listening to it is probably more captivating, I think, because you're listening it through the voice of Selena and what she's going through, as she was actually there when her parents were killed. She was in the bed, and she didn't think anything of it, and I literally almost cried at this part. I'm like, what, how old was she, like 8 or 9, like maybe 6, I don't know. She was literally so young when this happened, but as it's happening, she like knew, like she had to grow up so fast because of this. The king basically took away her whole childhood. I also have written down in my notes that since she already knew she was Fae and had these powers, that it didn't come as a shock to her when she actually brought them out when they were fighting that thing. What is that thing called? I don't remember, but it came as a huge shock to Kaol and the Crown Prince. But the Crown Prince doesn't really know until near the end of the book that Selena is actually Aelin, who has magic and is a Fae, because for some reason Kaol didn't want to tell the prince, because I don't know why. It just happened. And as Kaol's going through all the stuff with Aelin's cousin, what was his name? Can I do it? Can I say his name without remembering the book? It starts with an A as well. Oh my gosh. What was it? I'm actually looking at the things now. It was, oh my gosh, what was it? Open to random page of book. Literally, that would have been so perfect if it happened to be there. Why don't I remember his name? His name also started with an A. Adian! His name is Adian. That is in. Can I just say, when Adian came into like the throne room, and Chaos like, why does he look so familiar? The blonde hair and the blue eyes. I was so worried. I wasn't really worried about the prince knowing, because the prince, I thought that Dorian needed to find out. He needed to know for this. And I'm just worried that the king's going to recognize what happened, because I'm pretty sure, it didn't really clarify, but I'm pretty sure that the king does not realize that Selena is actually Aelin. And I'm so worried, because at the end of the book it said that she was going back, name, place, what? So he was going back to Ottoland, and I'm so worried that the king's going to see the similarities between the two cousins and like realize who she is, because I'm pretty sure the king does not realize who Selena is, because it's actually been so long since the king has actually seen Aelin and not Selena. So I was just worried, like, oh my gosh, the king's gonna realize who Adian is. He's gonna realize who this person is. That never happened. I am grateful for the fact that that never happened. I'm just realizing that the place Chaos Center was Wendelin, not Terracen. I meant Wendelin, guys. I meant Wendelin. When we are finally in Wendelin, Rowan finds Selena drunk and stealing food, and he takes her to the queen. I'm pretty sure her name is May. I'm not gonna go back and check. And May is her aunt. Her aunt, whichever you guys say it. She is a, I can't say that on here because I'm trying to be PG-13. No, I'm not trying to be PG-13. I'm trying to be child-friendly. Her aunt is a very, very aggravating person for the person trying to read this book and the rest of the series. You guys know who I'm talking about and what I meant to say, but I'm trying to be child-friendly. So, the queen, which is her aunt, which her mother was hiding her from, for good reason. Aelin's thinking, oh, well, Aelin's actually thinking that her mom was hiding her for a purpose, that there was a reason that her mom didn't want her to see Maeve? It's Maeve. Why am I saying May? It's Maeve. Close enough, right? But she still had to go see him because Rowan is a hawk. Rowan is actually turns into a hawk. Does every Fae do that? Can Selena do that, or is it just between human and Fae? Oh, I just realized what I said. So, they can turn into things. So, I'm guessing that Selena can turn into human, which is her, like, other form. And Rowan can turn into a hawk, which is, like, his other form, but he can't turn to human. Is that right? Because, okay, I'm going to do another cheer-jerker moment in this thing. So, when Selena And, well, Aelin and Rowan, I think they got along in this part. I think they got along for a second and something happened. I think they got along. I don't really know if they got along. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. But they were getting along, and Aelin, as Selena, walked into the kitchen, and they were talking, and Selena knew right away that something was wrong, and they're like, and Rowan walks up to her being real protective. I think this is when they said her magic burned out, which I'll get to that thing later. And Rowan's like, oh, you don't have to hear this, and Selena's just like, what happened? What happened? And when he told her that the king killed everyone in whatever the place was she was in, I literally stopped the place like, oh my god, like, I was walking around my house like, you can't do that. Like, I was literally going to cry because we were from Selena's perspective. And the whole reason she made this deal with Maeve, which I haven't really got into, but she made this deal with Maeve, she made this deal with Nehemia, whatever, and basically to get them all out, and the king killed them all, and she can't get them out. Like, that was the whole reason why she was there, why she made the deal, why she made the deal with Nehemia, why she did all of this, and basically, the king just killed everything that she was working on, and, like, you see it in Selena. Selena just kind of stops, like, she doesn't really know how to process the fact that the whole work that she was doing just thrown out the window. Okay, and what I meant to say was when Selena burned out, you know how Dorian has, like, well, how did they describe it? I'm trying to remember how they described it, but, like, he has all this power, like, he doesn't have a well, like, he has, I think it's raw power, where he doesn't need, like, he doesn't draw it from himself, he draws it from things around him. I think that's what it is. And I think Selena is the exact same way. I think Selena does not have a well. I think Selena actually draws power and has raw power, whatever they called it. Because when, I think, yeah, it was in Crown of Midnight, that when Nehemia died, that she basically used her fairy abilities to go to Nehemia. I'm probably saying that wrong, guys. It's just the accent. Just leave me alone, okay? And I'm pretty sure she has raw power because she went into her fairy abilities without really knowing that she did. So I have a feeling that if she goes back to Odalin, that she can access her abilities, because I'm pretty sure she has raw power, and it's so amazing because I'm pretty sure she does, and I'm probably going to find out in Queen of Shadows. Do not spoil me, guys, please. And it's just, like, I'm pretty sure she has raw power because there were so many times where I think the only reason she burned out at that festival thing was because Rowan kept telling her, oh, it's just this well, and you draw power from it, and eventually some people, like, if they burn too much, if they actually burn out, that they can't ever go back and get it. So I think the only reason she thought she was burning out was because of the fact that Rowan and everyone kept telling her that, oh, you only have so much power, you only have, like, a well of power, and it needs time to, like, go back again. But I'm pretty sure she has raw power, so hopefully in Queen of Shadows, we will find out that she does. And if she doesn't, then what were you leading on, Sarah? Seriously. So, throughout the whole book, we actually saw, like, the plot gather up in order for them to have this huge battle with, I'm guessing, they're kind of like demons in my mind, because I read way too many books. Thank you, City of Ashes and City of Bones series, but I think they, like, look like demons to me in my mind. So, that other side. So, fighting with these things, and as the fight happened, we learned these are princes from another dimension that the king has brought into their dimension, and basically thinks he can rule them. That's basically what's happening. So, in case you guys didn't already know, in each book, even though this is the third book, Selena, Alan, Lillian, whatever you want to call her, she basically grows more as a character in each of the books. In Crown of Throne of Glass, she grew more as an assassin and having to learn to hide things and how to act a certain way or to get what she wants, basically. And in Crown of Midnight, she learned to be an assassin and how to kind of get around the king, like, okay, like, put something over his head, like, not kill certain people for certain things. Does that make sense? And in this book, it's literally a complete makeover because she's learned to accept her Fae heritage, because it said in the book that her mom basically didn't want her to have anything to do with the Fae, because in that family the father had the fire and the mother had the water, but Aelin didn't have, she had like 1% of the water and the rest was fire. So she didn't really have any way to balance herself out. And at that young age, she couldn't really control what happened. So her mother basically said that she can never use her power and to hide it, and if something happened, like, she basically told her daughter not to be herself. I'm sorry, like, I know that it was a good choice because it made her the way she is now, but you can't tell a child not to be yourself. I'm sorry, it's just me, like, especially at that age, and she was terrified of herself because she didn't want to hurt anyone around her. And when the king and the prince came over, I'll get to that after, but when the king and the prince came over, she was so scared for everyone else that she was going to, like, hurt everyone else. And her mother basically taught her to be like that, because her mother said, you can't show anyone, just don't practice, don't do anything. When her mom really should have told her to work with her dad and practice, because her dad was also fire. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not what you do to a child when they have powers and they're terrified of themselves to hurt anyone. I'm sorry, it's just, you can't do it. I am going to get to the thing when Dorian and Aelin were younger, but just let me get to this first. Selena, well, Aelin's and Rowan's relationship is awesome. It's like Predator and Predator because they're both Fae, and at the beginning and through the middle, they both literally hate each other. And Rowan is just like, you may be the next queen or whatever, but Maeve is my queen right now, so you're just something else. Like, I loved it. I loved all the scenes because even though Rowan was like pushing her and like being basically like being so mean to her, he was actually helping her develop as a Fae, because this is like the first time since she was a child that she's ever actually been in Fae form and used her magic without having to worry about whatever's happening. Because in this book, it said that, I think it also said in Crown of Midnight, or Throne of Glass, but I'm pretty sure in this book it actually says that she was actually so relieved when the king made no magic able to happen in Adoulin, because then she didn't have to worry about hurting anyone. She didn't have to push herself away so she doesn't lose control of her powers. Like, she was so happy that she didn't have to worry about it. At the same time, though, she felt really bad because she's supposed to be the next queen, and she's supposed to do all this and do that, when in reality, she felt so relieved to not have to deal with all the power that was basically inside of her. Again, I'm referring to she has raw magic, what? As much as I did like Selena and Rowan, I liked how Sarah brought us back to Adoulin to see how Chaol and Dorian and everything was doing, because we found out that Chaol was actually trying to help Aelin get back to Crown. Well, not really get back to Crown, but at least help her in a way, because, and he's kind of defying the king right now, because he was working with Aedion, and he was working with two of Aedion's friends, and it was just nice to see Chaol, like, remove himself from the king for once, and he's not really at the stage where he's in love with her right now, because Chaol's and was freaked out when Selena apparently was Fae, but I'll let that slide for now. But he's not doing this because he's madly in love with her. He's doing this because Selena is still his friend, and he wants what's best for basically his world, his country, and basically what's best for everyone that he knows. And he didn't, okay, I know how Chaol should have told him, but at the same time I see Chaol's side with not wanting to tell Dorian and not wanting Dorian to be caught up in all this. There's also a new story thrown into this, but that's completely kept away from the storyline, and that is the Blackbeat Coven, where Maroon? Basically, she's heir to one of the, I'm pretty sure it's the Blackbeat Coven? Is it the Blackbeat Coven, or is it the Iron Tooth? I think it's the Iron Tooth. Yeah, I think it's the Iron Tooth. And she is basically the main character for that little storyline. I'm pretty sure in Queen of Shadows it's going to come with it because the king is basically saying that... Oh, almost dropped the book. So, basically, it's like it's 2 different storylines, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to combine in one in Queen of Shadows, and I'm pretty sure the witches are going to side with Aelin just because the king kind of sucks. And yeah, I haven't even talked about the ending scene. Like, the ending battle scene was just like, the way Aelin brought herself back from what basically the demon things did. It was just like, I was just waiting in anticipation for that to happen. Like, she basically, the younger Aelin brought the older Aelin back, and she got her parents to step forward, and she got all these things to step forward, like all her family, Kael, Dorian, basically everyone she's ever known to step forward and say, get up, get up. And I'm pretty sure when the demons went back to kind of make them, I'm pretty sure the little Aelin child still said get up. And that was just like a huge moment. Like, I was just hanging on to every single sentence that was said at that little fight scene because it was so powerful with what was happening. Basically, a child, when Aelin didn't want to go on, a child herself said get up. Like, she didn't say it mean. She didn't say it like, oh, get up. She said it like, get up, and was smiling. She was basically saying, you can do it, just get up. Like, you are going to be the next queen or whatever. You can defeat these things, just get up. And after that, when she did get up, she completely incinerated those dudes. Like, thank God, because I did not want to deal with them. So that is it for this book talk. If you guys think that I missed anything, just let me know, and I'll probably add some things at the end. But if you... Here, I'm actually going to get the books. Just give me a second. If you want to check out Throne of Glass Book Talk, click over Throne of Glass. And if you want to check out Crown of Midnight, click above Crown of Midnight, and you guys will get the book talks I did for these 2. And that's it for the Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas Book Talk. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, and all my links will be down in the description below. And again, like I said, I thought I did Prodigy, guess I didn't do it. I will redo it. I also finished, where is it? I also finished Unearthly by Cynthia Hand. So this book talk will be coming out very, very soon. And that is all for this video. And I literally cannot wait to finish Queen of Shadows because I really want to read Empire of Storms. I'm literally caught up. I am finally caught up to the series, considering I have never read the series. And I literally cannot wait for the next book of Court of Mist and Fury, like that series. And I will do Court of Mist, Thorns and Roses book talk as well. So many book talks coming, like, it's just, so many book talks I have to do. I will probably do one every single day and be like, yeah. Anyway, that was really weird. That is it for this video. Bye! Not to mention, in case you guys didn't remember, I'm going to Quebec this year. It's April or May or March or something like that. I don't really remember. But this came in the mail a couple days ago, and I am so excited. I'm going to Greece, but I'm going to Greece by myself. Well, I'm going with the school, but none of my friends are really going, so I'm going to be very lonely. But I will try and vlog as much as I can for, I think it's maybe a week and a half that we're going. I don't really remember, but yeah.